Do you see now the difference in our power?
Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Today I want to talk to you guys about a couple of things that's happening for Tokon, Tekken, and Street Fighter. First thing about Tokon, and I love that they're doing this, is they've been releasing artwork pretty regularly. I know this is kind of like a small aspect of the game itself, but I think it has a big impact overall because, you know, for games like Tekken, Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, how many times do we see some artwork from like the early 2000s or something like that, and it imbues us with this feeling of nostalgia, and it just makes our day slightly better. These games who's doing that now will create that same feeling for people in the future. People will look back on some of these amazing pieces of art and they'll just be reminded of how cool those games were. But not only that, for the people who's experiencing it now, they could share these things around, they could interact with them, they go viral, and it just is another way to advertise and market the game. So I love that they're doing this, and I would like to see more fighting games continue to put out fresh, quality artwork that is not AI and that's just celebrating the game, the IP, and just bringing people together. I love all of these. Another thing that Marvel Tokon has done, and this one is revolving around the character usage data. We had a little bit of reports of this, but now we have the official coming from the source. The open beta top 5 characters are Magic at number 1, Spider-Man at number 2, Blade at number 3, Doctor Doom at number 4, and Wolverine. If you were to guess who would be the top 5, this would not be a bad pick, right? All of these characters are super iconic and super well known, except for Magic. And this isn't a diss towards Magic. It's just Magic is like one of the few characters who doesn't have a major movie. She's more of an obscure X-Men mutant type of character. At one point in time, I didn't even know she was Colossus' sister. Colossus is more so of obscure, so she was like obscure on top of obscure. But what I really like about what these Marvel games are doing is that it's putting the no-name characters or the lesser known characters at the forefront. And if you really think about the overarching brand of Marvel, they've done that with their movies themselves. Before the movies, Iron Man was a nobody. Captain America was a jobber, but they completely transformed the way that people look at these characters, and it's cool to see the video games doing that as well. Now, reflecting back on the problems that happened during the beta itself, there was a couple of things that needed to be addressed, and Marvel Tokon is addressing it. They say, to our PC players, message received. Team is already hard at work on the performance you deserve, with improvements lined up for day 1. Reducing overall CPU usage to improve performance, fixing frame rate drop and lag, resolving issues causing unnecessary shader compilation at startup, improving its capability when streaming with OBS and Discord, addressing rollback netcode and crossplay issues. And this is exactly what I wanted from them. Of course, these small things will happen, but this is why you do a beta. This is why you do a test, so you can figure it out, identify the problem, and then have a solution for it for when the game comes out. The battle director speaks on the game accessibility and learning curve. And during this video, bro said, I just want everyone to pick one hero and enjoy the game entirely stress-free. Now, of course, there was a lot of people who was memeing on this and saying, well, why did you make a team game if you want people to pick one hero? But I think this is more so just the internet trolling and having fun. I don't think anyone's truly upset by what he's saying. It's more so just funny, and if anything. I do like, though, how you can kind of play the game with one hero. You could just have Blade as your start, and then you could just use the assist of other characters, and you could cook like that. Or you could really dive into this whole idea of like switching through multiple different characters and having all 4 intertwined. It's amazing the variety that you have in the gameplay with this. Marvel Tokon just revealed something massive. I've been asking for this feature to show up in so many different fighting games, but they finally did it. All of these fighting games have this lounge type of thing where you can explore and interact and fight people directly. There's never anything more to it, and I always ask the question, why not? They should have like a mini game where you try to pull this out. And we see with Marvel Tokon, they are taking it a step forward. They're giving you more reasons to go to the lounge besides just training and connecting with a person directly. They have a variety of mini games in here for the players to explore and interact with, and hopefully they add more of these over time. Just from the preview alone, we can see there's one mode where you're playing basketball, another mode where you're lifting Mjolnir, another one where you're playing kind of like a King of the Hill style keep out, like I see Captain America of punching other characters to keep them away from whatever the orb is. You have, of course, training mode, a gallery. There's one where Hulk seems to be flying around the map in the sky. When I was playing it, I was like, this map seems pretty big and it's kind of empty, but it would make sense that you could fly around and do all of these game modes now. It's fire, bro, and this is what Tekken and other games should have done. Before we move on, if you guys are enjoying the video, please consider subscribing and also turn on notifications. Don't forget to like either. Now, real briefly, I want to mention what's going on with Sony. Sony says they've heard the backlash about their move to no longer manufacture game discs, but they still continue their plan. The quote itself says, "There's various reasons we made this decision, the biggest being that the digitalization of content overall has been progressing. That's a big factor." And they understand that the players have strong views, that's a quote, strong views about this decision, but they're not stopping. If you want to pause and read the full quote of what they said, you can, but it's just marketing nonsense. People were highlighting how for digital, for 2026, they made $1.2 billion. And then for physical, they made $128 million. So this is kind of like the real reason why they're going all digital, because that's where all their money is at. So it seems like this is inevitable. From what the report said earlier, EU won't be able to stop this change, and I don't think NA is going to try either. So I guess this is the dark future for Sony and how we purchase games. Moving on though, and talking about Street Fighter 6, their character Yasmine is releasing very shortly. At the time of recording, it's 3 days from now. By the time you guys are seeing this, it will be more so in the ballpark of like 1.5-ish. But also for those of you who've missed it, Street Fighter 6 Year 4 will begin with Yasmine and it will have a balance patch. And the quote is, it will affect all characters. So this will be a big update. We're hoping, I know a lot of people have criticism about the direction of the game, so hopefully some of that, if all of that, is addressed in this update. But then also something that the developer said, and this comes from Event Hubs, they say that Bosch, once that character does show up to the game, he will have a completely different fighting style from the World Tour mode. But then also for the character Ingrid, she will be the final character that comes to World Tour. So with this, you have it confirmed that they're no longer producing character content for World Tour mode. Players were wondering whether or not the World Tour conclusion means that resources will be moved elsewhere, and for that they say the tour conclusion isn't a relocation of resources because the skill set required is unique to that specific part of development and it doesn't transfer to other aspects of game development. So that's just more so of a look to the future of the game. But for those of you guys who are interested in what's happening now, you could pause and look at the time zones to see when the maintenance will be beginning and everything that you will be able to access and do while the game. Moving on though, we have the early bird leaderboard listings for Evo France, Street Fighter #1, Tekken 8 #2, Tokon 3, 2XKO 4. We'll have more information about this in the future, but this is just what it looks like now. Another thing that I want to highlight was the Tekken cartoon and how they finally put out episode #2. Now, in my own personal opinion, I didn't like episode 2 as much as episode 1. It's cool. I think people will definitely love it, but the Kazuya one just connected more with me. I still think that this one is cool and I think people would love it, and I'm still interested to see what the other characters will offer. Looking through the responses, I've seen a lot of the Lars and Alyssa mains. They were absolutely ecstatic about this, so that's good for them. On the flip side, I've seen a lot of people talking about why didn't we get a Tekken Bloodline Season 2 instead, or a movie or something of that sort. But you have to understand that this style of animation is very easy to produce and low cost, and if it performs well in terms of player reception and also viewership, then they'll be more interested in doing something like that in the future. As for the Esports World Cup 2026 that's currently going on, day 1 of LCQ is over and now we're entering in day 2. Here are the predictions of what will happen. You have XCC, who is the projected winner, still in the pool alongside other players like iMusician and AO Richie. But if you skip all the way to the last days, past top 64, past top 16, you can see that this is the projected final outcome. But tune in live yourself to see what actually transpires in this tournament. I'm sure as more time goes on, this tournament is going to light up. I know that day 1 was a little bit of a snoozer. The format needs to be adjusted just a little bit, too much downtime. But other than that, the players are definitely bringing heat.